What's up, everyone? Welcome to your WordPress training. This is the City Site edition. The City Site WordPresses are slightly different from the sister site WordPresses, so I've created this video to help you out as there are a few subtle differences. This should make the process a little bit smoother for you City Site guys. Not only does Sports Kings branch out via sport, but they also branch out via city, which is a great opportunity for you guys to represent your city and get the brand out within those cities. So let's get started. This is Phoenix Sports Kings WordPress. All city sites look a lot like this WordPress. So to start it off, we're going to go to Posts and then Add New. And then right here is where all the magic happens. However the piece looks on the website, this is where it starts. So you always want to just start out with your headline. Easy enough. And then here's your body of text here. I'm going to give you guys an image video, and your image will typically just go front and center first thing. And I'll forward you guys the link to that amazing images video. It helps out with making things look more professional, and it just looks really good when it's published. So you'll have the image there. We'll hurry and throw one in that's already in the media library. Charles Barkley, I like that. I like that man. We'll go ahead and throw that in there. All right, and like I said, the image video is going to help you make this look a lot better. We like it to stretch across the entire page. It just looks more professional. But this is just as an example for now. So we got the photo in there. And then we'll start off your piece with some text, of course. Some more text. And then maybe you have a really nice quote in there that you want to throw in your story. After you throw it in there, you want to go ahead and block quote it by hitting this big button right here, and that'll make it block quoted and make it pop on the site when it's published. It looks really good. I recommend it. And then maybe you'll have some more text, and then you're going to want to wrap up your post with telling everyone who you're writing for and who you are. In this case, I'm going to put Phoenix Sports Kings contributor or whatever you are for the site. My name. And I like to throw in my Twitter handle. If you don't have a Twitter account, I would recommend it. You can get some really good news from there. It's more probable that somebody is going to click on my Twitter handle as opposed to going to Twitter and inserting it in to find me. So I'm going to make it easy for them, and I'm going to go ahead and hyperlink my Twitter handle by clicking this hyperlink button here. And then you can copy the URL and paste it, but Twitter and Facebook profiles are pretty easy to remember. Just going to go twitter.com/my Twitter handle here, and then that will turn my Twitter handle into an active link. And that's pretty much it. That's the easy part, is writing up your story. The harder part is remembering all these little categories and where everything goes. So we'll fly through that real quick. For every piece you do, you always want to click headlines and rumors, and that is going to put your piece in this section right here. Every piece you write up will go in this section, whether it's a video, whether it's for the Suns or the Washington Redskins, the Phoenix Coyotes, doesn't matter. Your piece is always going to go here. And then you can kind of always look at your main page, the site that you're working for, and kind of get an idea of what their categories are. You have your headlines and rumors. You have your slider show. This is a good place for all your breaking news, or just an area that you'd put your piece if it doesn't have its own category. Of course, the Arizona Cardinals on Phoenix SK has its own category. The Phoenix Suns have theirs. The the Diamondbacks, they have their own here. I also have a viral video section, college sports, and Phoenix Coyotes. So that's kind of what we're looking at as far as their categories go. Each site is a little bit different. So this is an NBA piece. So that should, and I guess you have to throw it in Phoenix Suns as well to get it into that category. And you'll have to ask your site manager if they want you to pick and choose areas or if it's okay to double post. Over for the site that I write for, if this was a video, I would throw it in the viral video section and in the slideshow. Some sites don't like that though. You'll have to get with your site manager and see what they prefer, if they'd like you to double post in different categories or just pick one. So for now, we'll just leave it under Phoenix Suns. And I believe that would be it for categories with this specific piece. Tags, pretty easy. You want to throw in all of the pronouns and separate them by commas that you mention in your story. So for this particular one, I would put Phoenix Suns, Charles Barkley, and whatever else you might mention in your article. And then you want to go ahead and click add, and it'll throw them in there separated nicely. Then your featured image, you want to be at least 600 by 450 in dimension for the featured image. You go to upload if you want to throw one in. We can get further into that when you watch the video on proper images, but for right now we'll just throw one in there just to get it in there. Okay, moving on to getting the image that is going to represent your piece. So for, this piece, this image represents the piece. Up here in the slider show, for this Gerald Green one, they have this picture that represents the piece. That's what you're looking for right there. So I always use the same image that I used for my featured image, which just make things a lot easier. I don't have to look for another photo. I can just use the same one that I selected for the featured image. Easy enough. The brief is going to be an extension to your headline, and it looks like this. You'll have your picture, your headline, and then like an elaboration of your headline here. That's where the brief comes into play. So if this piece was about all-time great Phoenix Suns or something like that, you'd put something along the lines of, take a look at the all-time greats in Phoenix. It's important to not add any periods, exclamation marks, or question marks in this area or in your headline. They don't come out right. It puts it somewhere other than where you intended it for it to go. And so after that, we're going to save our draft. And when you do that, a short link button will pop up. You'll click on that. Go ahead and copy the link here, and then get out of that window and paste it down here in link. This hooks everything up and pastes everything, or puts everything together so that everything's in the right place when you publish it. And then you want to review your work. Make sure there's no errors. Here's a spell check button here. Please use it. You're going to get called as your sites gain steam and continue to get views and followers, and people are loyal. They're going to be visiting your site a lot, and they will call you out on Twitter, or they'll comment on your page and tell you that you suck at writing, that you can't spell or you have run-on sentences. So please use the spell check button. It's completely free to use. You can use it as many times as you want, and also have your have other writers that you work with review your work as well. Nobody it's going to mind looking at your piece to make sure that it's good to go for the website. So please use that. And then one other thing, if this was like a breaking news piece, what you'd want to do is highlight some words or a word that best describes the breaking news, and then click the hyperlink button and then paste the news source right in there. So for example, if I got my news from this piece, for example, and I saw this on the internet and I was like, hey, I really want to write about this piece. You got the news from this piece, so you need to properly give that site credit for giving you the news. So I have that link copied, and I'm going to paste it in there, and then the keyword or words that I highlighted now becomes an active link that leads me directly to that site that gave me the news. That's how you properly credit your work. It needs to be done, especially when you guys get to pitching your stuff to Yardbarker and you want them to take it. They're not going to take it if it's not properly credited. So please keep that in mind. And for the most part, that's it for the city sites. They're pretty simple. I think that the sister site WordPresses are a bit more complicated. The city site ones are pretty easy. And then you'll publish, and then I would recommend refreshing the website that you work for and make sure that it all looks good. Make sure it's there in every category that you want. Make sure there's no misspellings, and then also click into it and make sure it looks good inside too. It's also not a bad idea to click on any links that you threw in and make sure that they all work. See, so fellow Sports Kings writer Brandon went ahead and hyperlinked his Twitter. Let's click on it and see if it goes there. And it does. So you want to double check on all that and make sure that everything looks tip top and good to go. And that will wrap up training for city site WordPresses. Hopefully this helps. Please get in touch with me, Austin, Pete, or your site managers if you have any additional questions. Hopefully this helps you guys out. Take care.